Man, the flies are bad. Welcome back to Outdoors Time, and thanks for joining me on another trip looking at old, abandoned and closed railway lines. This time we're out at a place called Morkalla. We're going to follow the old line back to Red Cliffs, around about 100 kilometres. We're going to put the drone up, see what we can see and have a look around at some of the station locations. So stick around and enjoy. This line was opened in stages from 1923, made it out here to Morkalla in 1931. There's not a lot out here these days. It really is sunset country and very sandy, very desert-like, and also a lot of wheat cropping around. That was the reason why this line was built, to serve the soldier settlements after World War I. It closed in 1988 and was dismantled in the early 90s. Let's go see what we can find. There were several proposals to extend the line across the border into South Australia to connect with the South Australian Mallee railways, either by joining the line to Paringa or as an extension of the Peebinga railway line. As the farms got bigger and more mechanised, the towns along the line shrank. The line eventually was used only seasonally until it was closed completely in 1988. The Red Cliffs to Meringur section was dismantled in the early 90s. Well, we've just stopped at Karawinna Bushland Reserve, and I'm guessing these Bushland Reserves out here are essentially the old railway station reserves. This spot is really emblematic of what you will find out here on these old railway lines. The remains of an old goods platform there crumbling away. These lines were really lightly laid as well, so all you'll really see as you travel along the lines is perhaps a slight raise where the track bed was. There's no real curves, there's no embankments, there's no cuttings really out here. They just ran across the sandy landscape. Here in the tiny town of Meringur, you'll find the Millewa Pioneer Village. Let's go see if they've got some of the old railway buildings and railway infrastructure here to check out. A wise O'Malley explorer told me to come and check out the Meringur Pioneer Village, and there is actually lots to see here. Here is the old car warp station, which has been dragged back here to this Pioneer Park with the old posters and old bits and pieces. Might even be able to have a look inside. Oh goodness, there's everything in here. Stamps and the old books, all just here as if they just left yesterday. Well, maybe not yesterday. Look at all this stuff. The old ticket window there. This would have been a really hot place to work in the summers out here. There's the remains of some old railway carriages. Might even be able to have a look inside. Oh. bunch of photos here from Morkalla, Paringa, Karawinna, all very local. Here's a couple of photos of what used to remain at Morkalla, which we saw at the beginning of the video. There is no trace of anything there now. There is even more stuff in this guard's carriage here. These are very different carriages to what I've seen in South Australia. Well, I hadn't expected to see this much railway stuff out here. Well, there's quite a bit here to see at Meringur Pioneer Village. Well worth stopping if you're on the Sturt Highway between Werrimull and Mildura. It's only 13 kilometres off the highway, so do yourself a favour and come check out some of the pioneer history of this far-flung region of Victoria. You can still see the remains of the old track bed in places out here, like near Meringur, although the track bed has really been converted to a track if you like driving alongside the highway really slowly. And even out here, where they ripped all the railway track up, I guess all the bolts just kind of went all over the joint. Yeah, you can still see evidence if you look closely. And as we come in from the west into Red Cliffs now, we can start to see some more evidence of closer settlement. There's a irrigated orchard just there, and this strange little bridge thing out here just outside of Red Cliffs. Not sure what that's about. Don't know whether you can see it there, but you can see the chain operated signal, which was operated from just next to the station building there, and that chain and wire then runs all the way down to operate the signal down on the line, just about 50 metres further down the track. Right, let's go find the other end of this tram line and wrap this video up. One interesting side note is that the locomotive that they still run here, called Lucky, is the Skylark type, and it was actually once used on a Cobdogla tramway in South Australia. Well, here at Redcliffs, the Redcliffs Historical Steam Railway has got an excellent little station set up, again with some more historic bits and pieces. Lovely little curved platform. The main line that you see just the other side of the yard there, that is the main Mildura line, which is now standard gauge. In the town of Redcliffs, just opposite the town centre, the passenger platform remains, but it's not in very good condition, and as you can see, it was at one point yards and a passing loop here. In 2011, the station building was demolished despite local protests, and just the platform remains, although obviously it's not going to be seeing any passengers anytime soon. This is now the standard gauge line, which runs from Mildura down through Oyen down to Melbourne. Well, that's it, folks. And thanks for joining me for this mini exploration. We've come from Morkalla, not far from the South Australian border, over here to Redcliffs, just south of Mildura. Look, this kind of country, they call this sunset country in Victoria, or even the outback as far as Victoria is concerned. It's tough, sandy country. The amount of work involved in building and maintaining this railway would have been backbreaking in hot and windy conditions most of the time, and so this journey in an air-conditioned car has been in relative comfort. It's taken about 2 hours to get along here and check everything out from Morkalla through to Mildura, so it's well worth checking out if you've got the time. Thanks for sticking with me, and we'll see you in the next video.